belong together that they create their own shortened language. So they can speak to each other very quickly and very precisely, and they know there's no ambiguity in their words. They can understand exactly what they're saying. Now, all of these flight control stations were manned by people about the age of 26. So the average age of flight controls is between 24 and 28. Most of them were about 26 years old. And you think about it. How old are some of you guys? Anybody here around 26? Anybody? Yeah. Just think about you having all of that weight on your shoulders trying to get these men to and from the moon. That's a pretty big burden. Now, while you were in a mission, you couldn't leave this room. If you were a flight controller, you had to stay at your desk. Let's say if you had to go to the bathroom, there's a restroom right out there. We can have somebody come do that. Mind your station. If you're hungry, you got to call down to the first floor and ask your friend Bob to go to this place over here, get you a sandwich or a candy bar, and he would send it up to you in this. This is our email system for 1960s, guys. You all recognize this from your bank, the pneumatic tube system? These are really cool because if you saw something on your screen you wanted to have a hard copy of, you hit a button, a camera in another room would take a photograph of another screen producing that same image, computer would print it out, they'd stick it in one of these, put it through the system, and you'd get it in about 10 to 15 minutes, which is pretty quick for back then. Now, this was also used for a couple of other things, not usually for communication, sandwiches, candy bars, and you know those hourglass green Coke bottles, the 7-ounce ones, you all remember those? They fit perfectly in here. But after an exciting ride in the pneumatic tube system, you might not want to open it right by your console. Now, these guys actually had to do lots of mathematical calculations. If you're an engineer, you know that math and science are two languages you must be fluent in. The gentlemen in this room, when they were precise with their mathematics, that translated into safety into space. Each one of these guys had a handheld calculator. Unfortunately, we don't have one to show you today, but it's called the slide rule. And who knows what a slide rule is? Okay, for all of you kids that don't know what a slide rule is, you know what a ruler looks like, right? So you got a ruler with numbers and lines on it. Well, this ruler was special because it had a centerpiece that moved. And it had another piece of glass that you could slide back and forth. So you set your piece where you want to go, and you move your middle stick, and you can get your answer. Now, it wasn't good for math, like addition and subtraction, but multiplication, division, sine, cosine, all that good stuff, you could have it answered for you in a split second. No batteries required. Now, if you take a look at the screens above you, this that you see right here is current mission control. This is where all of the space shuttle flights are flown out of. Directly down here, this gentleman in the, what does that say there? Right here in this lovely red shirt, I do believe. I think this is the flight director, guys. Of course, when he's and the mission's up right now, they're actually doing a simulation. You know, Monday we're going back to the Hubble Space Telescope. Now, see that screen on the left? That's the actual shot of the launch pad at Kennedy, where all of our launches take place. Once the rocket or the shuttle clears the launch pad, all control is transferred to this building. So if you were ever in space on the shuttle or the space station and you want to call home, this is where you call. This is Houston. Everybody around the world knows the call sign for this building. Now, all these screens you see in front of you, these two on the left are the data screens. The one in the center, obviously, is the map of the world, and the two on the right are for videos. Now, that flip you see of the gentleman walking on the moon, that's what the controllers saw on that exact screen in 1969. Now, if you go about 200 feet from here, past those walls, and through the other side, you will be in this room you see above you. Now, there's one more room I want you to see. It is called Space Station Mission Control. Now, this is manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every single day of the year. We don't even give them Christmas breaks because the guys on the station don't get Christmas breaks. There's always someone in this building working. As you can see the map of the world in the middle, and the two on the left are actually cameras. They've moved the data to the right-hand side, but the two on the left are actual cameras on the outside of the space station. They're up there right now doing science experiments, all kinds of cool stuff. They won't even let us know most of the stuff that they do. We get a little bit of a lot. So, we're going to open up for any questions. Does anybody have any questions about this room, the Apollo missions, NASA in general, past, present, future? Yes, sir.
If launch site is in Cape Canaveral, why is this not in Cape Canaveral?
The original mission control was in Cape Canaveral for the Mercury missions. Now, when Lyndon Johnson